It is indeed a magical time of the year, and well, you've got a lot of things I'm sure to be thankful for this past year.
Well, it's been an incredible year, Todd. Some new businesses in the community. The Chamber is doing very well. We added more than 70 new members. We had 77 different networking events this year. Thousands of people in attendance, really doing the best that we can to help Indiana County's economic community.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that as you look back on this most recent big event,
Yes.
the annual meeting, Travis Williams was here. We talked in the pre-days
Right.
before he came about the event. In the aftermath, as you reflect back on it, what were some of the highlights for you?
I could say, wow, Travis exceeded expectations, I think, for almost everyone in attendance. And more than 400 people came out. It was a great event for the Chamber, great event for the community. Travis really put the Penguins into a different perspective. I think even if you weren't a hockey fan, and I heard this from some people afterwards, you gained something from his presentation. He spoke for a good 15 to 20 minutes on how the Penguins had to rebrand themselves. Even in the days of Yager and Lemieux, they didn't sell a lot of seasons, and they wondered why. And in looking at their research, they went out and talked to the people of Pittsburgh, people of Western Pennsylvania, on what they thought hockey was and what the Penguins thought hockey was, and they weren't mashing up. So when they got Crosby and Malkin, they reinvented themselves. And his whole presentation talked about branding, about market research. It was really, really exceptional. And once we have the video from the Kovalchuk Complex, we'll put that out on our YouTube channel for the Chamber. So even if you weren't there and you missed it, you can still have an opportunity to see it.
So those people who were there in attendance from the business community, I'm sure they were able to glean all kinds of tips and information about how they should market themselves.
Well,
what about the
absolutely.
Chamber itself and the way that you're doing things and the overall Indiana County business climate? I would guess that they would benefit as well.
Absolutely. And you talk about branding. Sometimes what you think you are, you really aren't. And so I think it's important for us, not only from the Chamber's perspective, but from the county's perspective, to understand and appreciate what people on the outside look at Indiana County as. Do they see us like we see ourselves? And chances are they probably don't. And I know that even coming from an outside perspective, because I've been Chamber President for 5 years now, but then previously I was the press secretary for PennDOT. Mm-hmm. So I can tell you that people in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure you understand this, and most people do, they don't look at Indiana County like we look at Indiana County. So our job is to transform that perception, to really let people know that Indiana County is a place for business, a place for technology, a place for financial institutions. All the great things that we have here, we need to be sharing with the outside world, and I think that's happening through the Center for Economic Operations. We've really done a great job for the team effort. With the Center for Economic Operations is IUP, it's the Indiana County Development Corporation, the county commissioners, the Tourist Bureau, and the Chamber. We've all been working hard to really create that image externally that Indiana County is open for business, and we have everything that people need to have a great life here.
So what are some of the biggest obstacles to overcome in the way that others look at us? How do they see us?
Well, the perception is always difficult to overcome. I think the main thing is that people need to come here. Once you come to Indiana to see all of our great communities, Blairsville, Clymer, everyone's in a transformation right now. There's things that we can offer for everyone to meet really those expectations and exceed those expectations. So when you come here, you walk away with a different perception than what you had previously. Some of our obstacles are our demographics. Businesses nationwide, chain businesses, look at the region. They don't necessarily look at the community, and they know that people from Indiana will drive to other areas to shop and do things like that. So that hurts us. I've had several big businesses on the hook, really interested in Indiana County until they see our census numbers, which, on paper, they're low. And so that's a deterrent also. So there's some obstacles we have to overcome. But I can tell you right now, Todd, looking at 2018, there's some excitement building.
Yeah.
Very much so. I think we're closer than we've ever been to some really big announcements that will transform Indiana County.
Well, certainly in the last 10, 15 years, infrastructure work has really boosted the opportunity to attract business. And particularly I'm thinking of the highways, but there are other developments with infrastructure as well that are going to help to attract business and industry, and that's certainly what you're after.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you build it, they'll come. That's certainly true when it comes to economic development. Windy Ridge Business and Technology Park is ready to go. I know we talked about that before, and I know you've talked about it with Byron and the commissioners, but it's there and it's ready. There's going to be additional work to create even more roads inside the park, but the highway infrastructure leading up to it is in place. It's a great location with access to 422, which you can access 119 and 22, so you have 4-lane highway access completely from the park. And I think that's really a great attraction for Indiana County. So that's one key component of infrastructure. The other one is obviously the technological infrastructure, your internet, your broadband. All those things need to be in place also. So that's something that I know the commissioners are working on across the county. But we need to have that in all areas of Indiana County.
Yeah, that is an absolute must. You get up north, and there isn't any opportunity.
Right,
there.
It's a deterrent to business, and it's even a deterrent for people who want to live there because if you have school-age children, they need the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim Struzzi with us, president of the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce. Looking back on 2017, but also looking ahead to 2018. Yes. You have a big event in January that is going to help you to kick off the new year.
Well, the Business Expo is coming up. That's January 27th, taught again at the Indiana Mall, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., following the same blueprint that we've followed previously. We're going to have live music and entertainment all day in the center of the mall. We'll have booths. We're already filling up a lot of the spaces right now with chamber members. And if you're a business out there in Indiana County and you want to be part of the expo, join the chamber. We have a deal right now. You can join the chamber and get a booth at the expo for $400. It's a pretty good savings, and you will attract customers from the Business Expo. More than 1,000 people come out each year for this event. So again, January 27th. IndianaCountyChamber.com is our website where you can find the chamber or the expo application, or you can shoot us an email or even stop in the office at 1019 Philadelphia Street or give us a call at 724-465-2511.
Well, certainly marketing is a part of that, and obviously the businesses that are going to be turning out to the Indiana Mall are not doing that just so they can market to themselves. It can't be all Indiana County, so you have to market to others to get them to come in for an event such as this.
You do, and it's a great opportunity for businesses that maybe don't have a storefront, but do interact with the public because they get a booth, they get thousands of people walking by. It gives them an opportunity to meet other businesses in the community. So it really gives you a nice eclectic picture of the Indiana County business community at the expo.
Absolutely. So that is coming up. You also, of course, look forward to 2018 in terms of lining up people for business after hours events and other social engagement events?
Well, we have one more event this year, and it's going to be the Young Professionals Organization's annual Ugly Sweater Christmas Mixer, and that's going to be this Wednesday at the Hilton. So if you're a young professional and you're a member of the chamber, you work for a chamber member, you can come to any of those Young Professionals events. Again, go to our website, IndianaCountyChamber.com, and let us know, but you're more than welcome to come if you're between the ages of 21 and 40. That's the Young Professionals group. And then, you're right, kicking off in January. The calendar's already filling up for the Chamber Business After Hours. We have our first one on January 10th at the Kovalchik Complex. That's going to be an IUP basketball night. So you come to the Chamber Business After Hours and you stick around for the basketball games afterwards.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, that's a good way to kick off the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you do look forward to 2018, I know that you often are heading off to some other city, some other region to see how they're doing things and to attend events that can maybe apply back here. Byron Stauffer does that quite often.
Yes.
Other Indiana County business and industry leaders do that as well. Do you have any of those trips planned coming up soon?
We don't have any trips per se specifically to a destination, but we're always out there benchmarking from a chamber perspective and from an economic development perspective, seeing what other regions are doing. We keep Indiana in the forefront as far as the Western Pennsylvania region by being part of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission, the Regional Alliance, the Associations of Chambers, all those different things. Just this past week, we traveled to Harrisburg. Myself, Denise Liggett from the Tourist Bureau, and the staff from the Kovalchik Complex went down to Harrisburg and met with several different associations throughout the day to try and let them know, just like we were talking about earlier, that Indiana County is open for business. We have a great facility in the Kovalchik Complex, a great community around it. Come out and have your annual conference. Have your training sessions here in Indiana County.
I know one of the hits that Indiana County has taken recently has been the WyoTech development. The people who are actually there at the school seem so willing to work and to find a solution to keep that school open or to open it with some other type of entity.
Yes.
And that marketing campaign, I know, has been really difficult, but it must go on. And that's a really good resource for someone to come in and take advantage of.
If WyoTech closes completely, it's going to be such a huge loss for all of Indiana County, particularly in the Blairsville area, obviously, with the student population down there. We met recently with Mark Reynolds, the director for WyoTech, sat down with them, myself, Byron, the county commissioners, Dave Reed's office, Dawn White's office, to see if there's anything we can do. And I think there are some things we can do to try and help them. Obviously, we'd like to see it stay just like it is. Continue to bring in students, continue to serve that much-needed workforce gap, but that's going to be difficult. But we're doing what we can to try and reach out to other educational providers who do something similar, perhaps. But ideally, we'd like to see it continue just as it is, keep those people employed, keep the students coming in. That's going to be quite a lift.
Yeah, I know that one of the things that people do is automatically they say, well, there's IUP. IUP can stick something in there.
Right.
And maybe that is a possibility for the future that IUP could do something there, but we look for those educational opportunities. And in that particular industry,
yes,
that's one of the industries that we target with the cracker plant coming as one of those things that is really going to be important.
Well, it absolutely is. There's such a workforce need right now for people who are trained in those hands-on skills. And if WyoTech leaves the area, where do you go for that sort of training? I know that in talking with them just a couple of weeks ago, they had families coming in excited to come to WyoTech. And when they told them, sorry, but we just found out we're closing, it was a shock to everyone. These people were like, well, where else can we go?
Yeah.
Because there just simply isn't another facility like WyoTech in this region.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so they're going to keep working hard to find some solution there to WyoTech.
We'll do what we can from a county perspective also.
Very good. Jim, thank you for coming in this morning and sneaking up on me. And
thank you, Todd.
Merry Christmas to you.
You too. Merry Christmas.
It is Indiana in the Morning, AM 1160 WCCS and 101.1 FM.